The Nightbeat starts right now.
A musical icon gone, but his legacy will live on forever. How a local mariachi band is remembering Vicente Fernandez.
And tonight we are continuing our coverage of the devastation in Kentucky after tornadoes killed dozens there. The latest on the search and rescue efforts.
And it is a story we've told you many times before, but it is more important than ever. A severe blood shortage affecting blood banks and hospitals right here in San Antonio.
Yeah, which can cause major impacts on those who need regular blood transfusions. The
Night Team's Lee Waldman introduces us to a local high school student who witnesses the supply shortage firsthand.
Going out and doing the things I love, like, modeling, volleyball, or, anything else, hanging out with my friends.
Cammie Crawford's interests are the same as many high school seniors, but balanced in with her schoolwork and social life, the 18-year-old also has to fit in medical appointments.
The treatment I get is called apheresis, and they take out my blood cells, which are affected by sickle cell.
It's a treatment she receives every 3 weeks to manage her sickle cell disease, as Dr. Melissa Fry-Jones from UT Health San Antonio explains.
One of our main tools to treat and prevent these serious complications and consequences is to provide the patients with regular blood transfusions.
Unfortunately, it's getting harder to get those transfusions because of a dwindling blood supply.
I had to push it back even for a week, and I was just in bed 24/7, couldn't do anything.
During the height of COVID, Dr. Fry-Jones says they altered the amount of blood and how often sickle cell patients got transfusions. As Christmas approaches, Dr. Leslie Greben, the medical director of transfusion services at University Health, fears the local blood supply will get to that low point again.
My biggest fear is that I would have to tell a physician I'm not able to supply blood for your patient.
In the meantime, Crawford will focus on graduation and hopes that by sharing her story, it'll inspire people to donate.
I know it can be scary and that it's not always something that you can, make time for, but if you are ever able to, it changes so many people's lives.
And both doctors we spoke to said we are one major incident away from not being able to serve all patients who need blood. If you'd like to donate, you can do so directly to University Health Systems or at the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Donate if you can. Thank you, Lee. A good life taken away too soon. That's how the family of Avery Flores is describing his recent death. Flores was found shot to death while inside his vehicle on Briggs Avenue just before 1 a.m. today. They held a vigil for him today. They brought flowers and balloons in his favorite color, blue. The family says he was the first grandchild and a recent graduate of Southwest High School. They're hoping the suspect is caught soon to bring them closure.
But why take a life and have all these people suffering? He took a life away from a lot of people that we're never going to see him. We're never going to see him walk through the door. Or when we come over, he's not going to be here coming out smiling to us. He's just not no more.
Funeral arrangements are still being worked out. They hope to have services for him within the next week.
Now to a developing story tonight just east of Houston and Baytown. Harris County deputies are reporting a suspect opened fire at a candlelight vigil just hours ago. One person is confirmed dead. At least 7 other people were injured in that shooting. Deputies say the suspect was shooting from inside of a vehicle at that crowd. No details on if that suspect has been caught. Be sure to check online for the latest information on this developing story over at KSAT.com. Meanwhile, the search for survivors continues tonight after devastating storms and tornadoes left behind a trail of destruction across several states. The Night Team's Bill Barajas is in Mayfield, Kentucky tonight, one of the hardest hit places.
It was day 2 of the cleanup and recovery process. Families and volunteers finding the strength to work through the emotional and physical heartache. Brittany Thomas is 8 months pregnant. She rode out the deadly tornado with her children, a 4- and 6-year-old.
All I remember is something banging into the side of the house, and I turned around and I jumped on the bed with my kids and just grabbed them and my dogs and put a blanket over top of us.
The small town left unrecognizable to those who call it home. Thomas's house, unlike others, is still standing, but far from livable. Thomas's husband, Donnie, says he was at work when the tornado hit.
You see this on TV, you don't see it here, you don't a little small town like this.
Lucky for them, help arrived. A nonprofit formed to help men and women of all ages battle addiction stopped to assist them in securing their home.
And that's, really what Kentucky is. It's people helping people. So that's really incredible to see the turnout that has come in to assist.
Thomas saying she is grateful to those who have helped and finds hope in the little things that survive Mother Nature's wrath. She tells us her family will salvage what they can and then try and figure out where they'll live next.
We don't know. We don't know right now.
That was Bill Barajas from our sister station KPRC reporting tonight. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll give you an update on the recovery efforts happening after the deadly tornadoes in Illinois that killed several people inside of an Amazon facility there. And right now on our website, we have an article explaining whether that tornado outbreak is related to climate change in any way. To read that, along with the latest updates on those devastating storms, just head to KSAT.com.
At the age of 81, legend, icon, and Mexican musician Vicente Fernandez passed away today. The king of ranchera elevated mariachi music and is known and loved internationally, and of course right here in the Alamo City. Tonight at 5:30, we told you about the local group Mariachi Campanas de America honoring his memory on social media. Well, tonight another group of musicians and fans speak with the night team's John Paul Barajas about the voice of Vicente.
Vicente Fernandez, Chente El Rey. He passed away early this morning while hospitalized in Mexico. He's left a world of fans in mourning.
He's one of the best things that Mexico had to offer up there to the world.
When I was a kid, always Vicente on. Till right now, I'm still listening to him and to the future.
At the age of 81, Fernandez recorded more than 300 songs, sold more than 65 million albums, won 8 Latin Grammys, 3 Grammys, and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
We've lost someone who has been in our ear since we started performing as kids. Somebody such as special as Vicente. You just feel like they're supposed to be here forever.
Mariachi band Azteca de America is well versed in Fernandez's songs. They're at the top of the list when it comes to requests. Tonight, and from here on out, they will pay tribute to the man they look up to. And they aren't the only ones. George Strait, a legend himself, took to Twitter, calling Fernandez one of his heroes. Fernandez's music spanned generations. Everyone we spoke with today explaining his songs have been passed down to them and they will continue that tradition.
He will never be forgotten, and his music is still going to be playing on the radios.
And remembering, he is never going to die. He will always forever be in our hearts.
We're live at the Alameda Theater, where one of the people we spoke with said he actually watched a couple of Vicente Fernandez movies here. And right here on the outside of the theater, they have a mural of El Rey himself. Now, Vicente Fernandez was known for putting on hour-long concerts, communicating directly with his fans while performing and showing off his range while singing, often taking the mic away from his voice, but still being heard up in the nosebleeds. He will be missed. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. The League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, releasing a statement tonight on the passing of the musical icon, saying in part, quote, Vicente Fernandez was all of us, and he was each of us, from the humblest farm worker immigrant who sings his songs in the fields to the millions who have lived, cried, and died to his music, which will endure forever, end quote.
Taking a look now at other stories we've been following today. A 3-vehicle crash leaves 2 people in critical condition tonight. That crash happened on I-10, not far from Fresno and Vance Jackson over on the northwest side. San Antonio police say 1 vehicle was changing lanes when it hit a Nissan Sentra. As a result, that Nissan collided with a Toyota Camry. The driver of the Camry and a passenger in the Nissan were both taken to University Hospital. San Antonio police found the driver of the Nissan was not intoxicated. So far, no charges are being filed.
San Antonio police also asking for the public's help for information leading to the suspect who's accused of running into one of their police cars on the north side and hurting an officer. The crash happened around 1:30 a.m. on Northwest Loop 410 near Blanco Road. Police say the officer was pulling over a driver for a traffic violation when a red or maroon car hit the officer's vehicle from behind. The driver then sped away. The officer was taken to a nearby hospital. Once found, that driver will face a failure to stop and render aid.
Outside with Live Cam tonight. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. The changes kicked in yesterday and we got to enjoy a nice day today. Started off cold. Portions of the viewing area did see a freeze, not in San Antonio, but points off to the west and in the hill country did see a freeze this morning. We'll take a look at the official lows across the area in just a few minutes. For San Antonio, the low was 34, so a couple of degrees shy of freezing, and we made it up to 61 this afternoon. So it stayed nice and cool, but that sunshine was really pleasant. Temperatures are already falling into the 40s. We've got some low 50s across San Antonio and Bexar County as well. And tomorrow we'll start off chilly. That is how we will start the work and school week. You may need a light jacket first thing tomorrow morning, but throughout the day on Monday, cloud cover and humidity both increase, and that sets us up for what's going to be overall a warm and muggy week all the way through Friday. We will see above average temperatures and high humidity. That all leads us to our next front, which is set to arrive by the start of next weekend. So we'll help you plan out your week with a look at the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
The pandemic through the lens of a priest, why a local priest felt a calling to create his latest book. Plus, health experts are learning more about how the Omicron variant is affecting people. What you need to know as more cases are expected to pop up.
This SA Salute holiday greeting is brought to you by the Joe A. Gomez Law Firm.
Hi, my name is Luis Guerrero. This is Jose Loredo, and this is Jorge Grajeda, and we are attorneys at the Gomez Law Firm. Enjoy the presents, enjoy the turkey, but more importantly, enjoy the family. Merry Christmas from the Joe Gomez Law Firm. Merry Christmas.
Testicular cancer is most common in younger men, 15 to 30 years old. In more complicated cases where the disease has spread, the only option used to be a serious open surgery. But a robot is now changing that, getting these young patients back on their feet faster. I spoke to one of the first patients in the country to be treated using an amazing new procedure right here in San Antonio.
Antonio Flores is only 21, in his prime, so it was a shock in February when he found out he had testicular cancer.
They told me, yeah, we got to remove the testicle. I was like, okay, go ahead. Like, I'd rather lose a testicle than my life.
But that was just the beginning. He then went through weeks of chemotherapy only to find out he was one of the rare patients whose lymph nodes in the back of his abdomen were still infected.
It's quite complex, quite rare, because these lymph nodes are just next to the major vessels.
Typically, the only procedure available is a complicated open surgery, which takes months of recovery.
The traditional surgery involves a large incision, which extends from the chest bone all the way across the abdomen.
Dr. Ahmed Mansour is an associate professor of urology at UT Health San Antonio and a surgeon with Mays Cancer Center, where he's helped utilize this massive surgical robot to more effectively remove these lymph nodes in patients like Flores, whose surgery you're watching right now. Mansour sits in the corner, controlling instruments attached to long robotic arms inserted through small incisions in Flores' body.
The advantages are less blood loss, faster recovery, and less pain after the surgery.
The Mays Cancer Center took the robotic procedure done only a few times around the nation and modified the technique further. In May, Flores was the first patient to undergo that procedure here in San Antonio, and Dr. Mansour has done it once more since then.
He got amazed how fast I've been recovering. Since the surgery, I was like around 3 weeks, not even.
He's back to working as an auto mechanic and is proud to be cancer-free.
And congratulations to him. UT Health San Antonio now promoting their new technique to other centers, creating a multi-center study evaluating this approach compared to the traditional open surgery. They hope soon it'll be used more regularly nationwide.
Fascinating technology. It is a tradition nearly 500 years old, a celebration in honor of Our Lady of Guadalupe and of Juan Diego, the man she appeared to 2 days in December in 1531. And today, through Latin America and here in San Antonio, people gathered to honor the patron saint of Mexico, Our Lady of Guadalupe. At the Little Flower Basilica, traditional Mexican Indian music and dances mark the December 12th holiday.
Some of the traditional dances of Mexico, the matachines, which is kind of the traditional dance of the indigenous people of Mexico that they perform to honor our Blessed Mother, again, to a sign of devotion and affection to our Blessed Mother Mary.
Catholics and other believers have long worshipped the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, which they believe can be seen imprinted on Juan Diego's cloak, which is on display at the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City.
So we have had the wind, we've had the cold, and as I was saying earlier in our teases, we're going back up the roller coaster eventually.
But for any Christmas celebrations this weekend, certainly much more seasonal.
Yes, it definitely was.
Yeah.
At least Saturday and today.
Yeah, I hope folks were able to enjoy the pleasant weather, especially today after the wind calmed down. And we managed to warm up pretty well this afternoon after starting off near freezing, even below freezing for some of us. So here are the low temperatures this morning. Clear skies, light winds, dry air last night set us up for a very cold start to the day today. Again, just a couple degrees above freezing at the airport in San Antonio, but we did have a hard freeze across a portion of the hill country, Kerr County up to Gillespie County and Fredericksburg. It also dropped to the freezing mark, even a few degrees below in Hondo and right at 32 in Uvalde this morning. Here were our high temperatures this afternoon. Nice out there, very comfortable. 68 the high in Del Rio and 65 in Fredericksburg. We are changing things very quickly as we head into this new week. The changes take shape tomorrow with a big rapid increase in humidity and cloud cover. Tomorrow is going to look a lot different from today. And once the humidity pours back in tomorrow, it stays with us all through the work week. Our afternoon highs jump back into the upper 70s and low 80s over the next several days as well. And it will generally stay warm and muggy until our next front arrives. And it looks like that will be for the start of next weekend, and we'll talk a little bit more about that setup shortly. Currently, temperatures are already falling into the low to mid 40s in some spots, down to 42 already in Hondo, 44 in Kerrville, 47 in Pleasanton, and then some 50s well to the south of Highway 90, also 54 out in Del Rio. And for the time being, a lot of us still have very low dew points. They're in the 20s and 30s, but even since the news at 5:30, these dew point numbers have started to climb just a little bit. Our winds did start to move around to the southeast today, and even down Beeville and Victoria, dew point numbers are starting to climb into the 40s there. So these numbers tomorrow will really start to increase. Watch what happens even as we get into the overnight hours, and through this time tomorrow night, we're looking at dew points some 20, 25, and I think in some places even 30 degrees higher from where they are right now. So you will start to notice the humidity a lot more during the day Monday, and especially by Tuesday. If you say you don't notice it tomorrow evening, by Tuesday morning, we're going to have our dew points back up in the upper 60s, so it will start to feel very, very muggy once again. So we'll see the humidity increase tomorrow, but we're also going to have a lot of clouds move in. Current view of satellite, so the cloud cover does show a batch of clouds south of Beeville down near Corpus Christi and then in deep South Texas. That is expected to lift north beginning overnight and continuing through the morning tomorrow. So we're going to gradually see cloud cover increase through the day on Monday. And I expect even by lunchtime, it will look overcast for a lot of places. Some peaks of sun will be possible into tomorrow afternoon, but overall, a lot of clouds filling in on Monday along with the increase in humidity. And we could also see a couple of sprinkles and a stray shower here and there during the day Monday, but not a whole lot of rain tomorrow, just a few little sprinkles. Then as we get into Tuesday morning, with the high humidity, a better setup for some drizzle to start the day on Tuesday. So here's how your Monday plays out. A chilly start. We'll start off in the 40s, but then the clouds fill in. That doesn't allow us to warm up very much tomorrow. We'll be in the 60s, but notice how our temperatures, once the humidity really comes back in, the clouds fill in, we don't get to cool down very much tomorrow night. Fog and drizzle developing late tomorrow night into early Tuesday, and then we're in that cycle of morning fog and drizzle essentially all week. Let's jump ahead to our next front. We're going to have a couple things working toward the end of this week, start of next weekend. A frontal boundary that will be moving in, and also a piece of upper level rain making energy moving in behind it next weekend. So we'll kick in a chance of rain with the front on Saturday, but rain chances could potentially linger all the way through next weekend. We'll talk more about that weather setup coming up in the next half hour, guys.
Well, we need the rain. We'll pretend it's snow.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Thanks.
Better than the heat.
It is better.
Greg will be along with a preview of Instant Replay right after this. The Dallas Cowboys win in Washington, but what should have been a rout turned into a nail-biter thanks to a costly mistake by star quarterback Dak Prescott. With more of what's on Instant Replay tonight, let's say hello to our friend Greg Simmons.
Can you imagine those fans who turned off the television only to turn it back on and see it's 27-20 with time left and with Washington football team having the ball? And the Davis Mills era for the Houston Texans opens with a touchdown and ends with another loss. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Snap to Prescott, back with time, throws in the back of the end zone, caught! Cooper under the goalpost, touchdown Dallas!
The Dallas Cowboys come away with a win against the Washington football team today, but it still left a lot of questions about the Cowboys offense with just 4 games left of the regular season, more specifically about the performance of Dak Prescott, because had it not been for the Dallas D, the outcome could have been very different. Our Larry Ramirez is there and takes us inside the Cowboys winning locker room.
Mills. Can he run for it? No, in the corner of the end zone. That's a touchdown, Texans.
You can say one good thing about the Houston Texans today is Davis Mills' era began at quarterback. The rookie sure looked good for 1 quarter. After that, Seattle dominated the Texans, especially in the 4th quarter. We'll show you how the Texans fell to 2-11 today. And who is left in the high school football playoffs and with a shot at a state championship? 2 schools in our area, including the Battling Beavers of Falls City, after their impressive come-from-behind win against Mart. And the Spurs try and bounce back from their blowout loss to the Nuggets last night by hosting the Pelicans tonight. All that plus, how concerned are you about the performance of Dak Prescott since starting the season 6-1? Tonight, you decide. Instant Replay is live, and it's after the Nightbeat. That was a tough game to watch today.
Very hard. All right, thank you, Greg. We'll have more news right after this.
As temperatures drop and people gather for the holidays, the country is seeing a surge in cases of COVID-19.
Yeah, and now concerns over the new variant Omicron. But early reports seem to indicate those infected with that new variant are experiencing mild symptoms.
Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze with the details.
The first cases of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 were detected in November. Now, more than half of the U.S. has confirmed cases of this latest variant. Early anecdotal reports seem to indicate those infected are experiencing mild illness, but scientists have cautioned it's too soon to know for sure what the long-term impacts will be. Dr. Anthony Fauci says the Omicron variant appears to be able to evade some of the immune protection from things like monoclonal antibodies, convalescent plasma, and vaccines.
That's the sobering news. The somewhat encouraging news is that preliminary data show that when you get a booster, for example, a 3rd shot of an mRNA, it raises the level of protection high enough that it then does do well against the Omicron.
In the past week, at least 36 states are seeing an increase of 10% or more in new daily infections, helping to fuel the surge. Colder temperatures driving more people indoors. The Delta variant, which still accounts for about 99% of infections in the U.S. and about 93 million unvaccinated Americans. Health experts continue to stress the importance of getting that first shot. And for those already vaccinated, boosters are recommended. More than 50 million Americans have already opted for those extra shots. Eligibility now extended to 16 and 17-year-olds. Boosters especially important during the holidays.
If you're eligible for a boost, get your boost. Make sure everybody who's going to be gathering with you has done the same.
The CDC has also advised communities with substantial and high transmission rates to require masks indoors. In New York, a new mandate goes into effect Monday until at least mid-January, requiring masks at all indoor public places, unless businesses and venues check for proof of vaccination.
If all of a sudden everybody in New York State gets a vaccination in the next 2 weeks, we'll have a different conversation.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Checking other headlines around the country, at least 6 people are dead after part of an Amazon warehouse collapsed in Edwardsville, Illinois, when that tornado rolled through on Friday night. New drone video shows some of the widespread devastation left behind by that storm. Crews and first responders were working around the clock to find potential survivors amongst all that debris. Over 40 people made it out safely, but the search for people inside continues. A spokesperson with Amazon says a tornado warning siren sounded 11 minutes prior to that storm, and managers were apparently on the loudspeakers telling people to get into the shelter-in-place area.
We're taking care of our own employees, making sure they have everything they need, and we're reaching out to the families of those we lost in this tragic event because we want to understand what they need as well so we can take care of them.
Today, the National Weather Service confirmed it was an EF3 tornado that went through Edwardsville on Friday night. That means winds were as high as 150 miles per hour.
More than 100 people are feared dead after a series of tornadoes ripped through several states of the Midwest and South. This is Kingston Springs neighborhood in Tennessee. It's one of the hardest hit areas in Cheatham County. Misty Richardson says she felt like the house was shaking, and then she, her husband, and 2 children took shelter in their bathroom. Part of the roof was ripped off their home, but the family says they're lucky to be alive.
We just heard winds, and it's just loud. Like there was no windows in the house is what it felt like. Like the house just started shaking. We have cars broke, the windows broke in the cars, pool, deck, the whole side of the roof on the front of the house is gone.
No deaths have been reported, though, in their county.
Shifting gears here a little bit, it has been a good weekend for Megan Thee Stallion. The Houston native rapper received the 18th Congressional District of Texas Hero Award. Officials say Stallion played an important role in her community during the COVID-19 pandemic. She provided gloves and masks throughout the district and the Harris County Jail. Megan also gave proceeds from the Savage remix song featuring Beyonce to COVID relief efforts, which provided food and supplies to those in need.
But I'm just thankful, and y'all know I'm from Houston. This is my city. It's my responsibility to take care of the city that took care of me.
That award comes one day after the Grammy winner graduated from Texas State University. She earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Health Administration. Congrats to her.
Well, listen up if you use Zoom or you or your kids use TikTok, so basically everybody, you maybe do a little cash. It's because some class action lawsuit settlements, but as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains, it's up to you to claim it.
The pandemic brought on a Zoom boom, gatherings by video conferencing. Now users may be due some cash. Zoom settled an $85 million class action lawsuit. It accused the company of sharing users' personal info with third parties without consent and not doing enough to prevent Zoom bombings. The company denies any wrongdoing. Here's who's eligible. Between March 2016 and July of this year, if you paid for a Zoom Meetings app subscription, you may receive about $25. If you simply used it, you could get $15. But if you only used an enterprise level account or a government account, then you're not eligible. Claims have to be filed by March the 5th. We have a link to do that on our website. Now TikTok, the popular social media app for sharing short videos. Its parent company, ByteDance, settled a $92 million class action accusing it of violating data privacy law, which the company denies. If you or your kids use TikTok before October 1st, you can file a claim for a small piece of the payout. That deadline is March the 1st. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Another look outside with live cam tonight. I love this time of year because we see some very festive colors when we look at the skyline. The Alamo Dome is, I think, looking most festive tonight, but still plenty of time to go. Hope you had a great weekend. It was beautiful today with the clear skies. We warmed up nicely, started off a lot of us close to freezing this morning, up to the 60s this afternoon. Low humidity, just a few high thin clouds. It would be nice if this would continue for a few more days. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We're in the upper 40s now, and it will be chilly when you head out the door tomorrow morning, and then some quick changes start to take place. We'll talk more about the changes you'll notice tomorrow, and also more about our potential weather setup heading into next weekend that could lend itself to some more festive weather. Chilly, a little rainy, cloudy. Talk about that coming up in just a bit. Tim.
Forward to it. Thank you, Katie. The highly anticipated West Side Story remake hit theaters this weekend. We'll see if it was able to dance and sing its way all the way to the top spots.
And it's a look at the COVID-19 pandemic from a new view, specifically a priest's view. Why this local priest was inspired to write about his pandemic experience.
This SA Salute holiday greeting is brought to you by the Joe A. Gomez Law Firm.
Hello, my name is Joseph Gomez. This is my wife Lauren, my sons Jordan and JB. On behalf of everyone here at the Gomez Law Firm, we'd like to wish our armed forces serving across seas and our veterans as well here a safe and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
20 months of pandemic protocols prompting depression, anxiety, and fear in many, but creativity in others.
Yeah, amid the isolation and restrictions, stories of strength and hope were much needed.
And Ursula Perry now shows us how a retired local priest shared his light in a time of darkness.
Father David Garcia has been a lot of things to San Antonio over the last 46 years. A priest, a rector, a leader in mission restoration and capital campaigns. But he's also a master of the homily.
Every homily that a priest gives, every sermon that a preacher gives should end up with you feeling, what am I going to do because of what I just heard? This is what the gospel says to that story. This is the words of the gospel. And now it's my turn to do something. And I'm walking out this door and I will do something.
And that is what this book is about. Pandemic preachings sprang from the need of priests to provide vision and inspiration in the darkest of times, while most of us were stuck at home away from church.
What I tried to do was look for stories of hope, real people who were ordinary people doing extraordinary things, just going above it.
He laughs at the calling to write this sort of ended his retirement, but he says finding out how you can be part of the solution during a crisis is important.
A crisis can bring the best out of someone, and the best out of me, the best out of you. It forces us to deal with our humanity, but also our shared vulnerability. And maybe all of us working together, and me, I can do something that'll make a difference in somebody's life.
Finding hope at the worst of times, Pandemic Preachings is selling on Amazon, and all the proceeds go to 3 charities that Garcia holds close to his heart, including, of course, his beloved Las Misiones. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
I apparently pushed it as far as I could go and finally had to break down and turn the heat on because I got yelled at tonight. So.
You did.
It's a little too cold.
Too cold. You're trying to freeze your family out.
I even had to put a fire in the fireplace. So.
Oh, look at you.
Finally broke down. But now I feel bad because it's going to be warm this week.
That has been a struggle.
Yeah.
So far, at least like the past few weeks, because it does get cold. Like this morning, some people were below freezing this morning, and then you look at the rest of the week, and we're going to be back closer to 80. So.
Good thing you can turn the heat back down.
Hey, as long as the wife is happy, that's all that matters.
Well,
yeah, very true.
I won't argue with that one.
No.
So, high temperatures across the country today. Looks like the hot spot was South Florida, 84 the high in Miami. Meanwhile, 48 in Chicago, 50 in Bismarck, 65 in Denver. So technically, it's a few degrees warmer in Denver than it was here in San Antonio today. 63 in Los Angeles and some cool 40s up in the Pacific Northwest. The past few days, it's been just devastating to see the damage from those tornadoes late Friday night. And thankfully, as we head through the next few days, fairly quiet weather across a good portion of the country and no concern for any more severe weather anywhere over the next few days. So that is some really good news. You'll notice some precipitation up on the West Coast and closer to the Pacific Northwest. There is another storm system moving in there. It is going to stay well to the north up near the polar jet stream, so no impact on our weather and really won't have a huge impact on weather across a big portion of the country. I'm going to take you to Friday. So our weather, once we bring the humidity back tomorrow, our weather will stay fairly stagnant all the way through the work week. And then as we get into the weekend, that's when things will start to change once again. So we'll have a big dip in the jet stream over the West Coast, some nice rain-making energy, some lift and moisture that will be moving in from the west. But out ahead of that, there will be a cold front draped to our north, and this front will move through, it looks like, early in the day on Saturday. So 2 things to consider here. This front itself that will bring in some colder air for us. And then as the front drops south Saturday into Sunday, it does appear that this rain-making energy will move in over top of it, so we've got a colder air mass in place, but some lingering rain chances through the upcoming weekend. because of this leftover upper level energy. This is a situation that you may hear us use the term overrunning as we get closer to the weekend, because we have that shallow, cooler air mass moving in behind the front and then overrunning in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, some moisture and some lift. And really essentially what this could do for us as we get into the weekend is just prolong rain chances Saturday and then into Sunday. So that's kind of the weather setup that we'll be keeping a very close eye on over the next few days. An early look at rainfall potential over the next week. It does appear that our rain chances heading into next weekend, a lot of it's going to be light rain, especially behind the front Saturday night into Sunday. So we're not looking at mind-boggling rainfall totals. We do need the rain, so I wish these numbers were a little bit higher, but it does appear, especially north of Highway 90, that we could have some rainfall totals above an inch. We'll likely be tweaking that, but just something to keep in the back of your mind. It does appear that we'll pick rain chances back up a little bit heading into next weekend with our next cold front, and we'll keep you updated this week. Meanwhile, another look at your Monday. Chilly in the morning, but cloud cover builds in consistently during the day. I can't rule out a few little sprinkles here or there. Humidity will build in as well. So by this time tomorrow night, we could already have some fog and drizzle developing, and that'll carry through into early on Tuesday. It's 49 in Pleasanton now, 48 in San Antonio. So we'll see some more cooling after midnight tonight. Calm winds, that will help the temperature to drop a little bit. And a lot of us still have some pretty dry air in place. But remember, these dew point numbers go up tomorrow. They start to climb, and then by Tuesday and really through the end of the work week, we are back in a very muggy air mass. That will change behind the front as we get into next weekend. But again, it's looking kind of I think a lot more Christmassy feeling next weekend with some gray skies, really cool air, and some light rain around, guys.
I'll have to remember to turn the heater on Saturday so I don't get in trouble, but
Exactly.
I'll get in trouble for many things before then.
Of course you will, as you should. All right. How does West Side Story remake stack up against films like Eternals and Ghostbusters Afterlife? Find out next in the box office results.
Eternals made $3.1 million for fifth place and a domestic total of $161 million. House of Gucci fell to fourth with a fashionable $4.1 million. Ghostbusters Afterlife took third with $7.1 million, reaching $112 million domestic.
She was about to tell us about her super awesome gift! Oh, Mirabel didn't get one.
After 2 weekends on top, Encanto fell to second, but $9.4 million gave the animated musical a domestic total of $71 million.
Tonight, it all began tonight. I saw you and the world went away.
West Side Story debuted with $10.5 million, well below expectations, but enough to claim the weekend crown. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The San Antonio Spurs try and bounce back from their blowout loss to Denver by hosting the worst team in the Western Conference.
And why did the Cowboys have to ship their own hot seat bench warmers to Washington? Let's find out as we head over to Greg Simmons for what's more and what's an instant replay.
Complete with their logo blazoned on the bench. It was awesome. And Tiger Woods makes his return to golf this week following that horrible car crash. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Derek inside, Purtle for two.
Our San Antonio Spurs looking to rebound from their disappointing performance against Denver last night by hosting New Orleans Pelicans tonight, who stood out for the silver and black. We will show you. And Tiger Woods announced his comeback to golf this week after that horrible car crash that almost cost him his right leg. Will we ever see him win another major again? The sports guys are back tonight.
I'm not necessarily locked in on the name on the bench. They were great benches. They were heated. So they did the deed and did what we needed them to. So I guess that's why we brought them in.
So why in the world did the Dallas Cowboys have to get their own bench warmers made in Cleveland and shipped to Washington for today's game? Our Larry Ramirez is live tonight from Washington to let us know about that and more on the Cowboys' big win on the road today and highlights from every single game played in the NFL today, including 2 overtime games and more history made by Tom Brady. All that plus a brand new Scholar Athlete. Instant Replay is live and it is next. This is a great story and we'll tell you why they had to do all that.
If those benches were built in Cleveland, they were built right.
They were done correctly. You got it.
If Tim says so.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.